Hey, how's it going? I hope you're doing fantastic. I'm really good. So I still have the Bad Cat here, so I thought let's do one more Prince tune, and let's go all the way back to the first album, For You, 1978. Produced, arranged, composed, and performed by Prince. Just incredible. So let's have a look at Just As Long As We're Together. Super funky tune. I thought we could learn some new chord shapes and really get stuck into those rhythms there. So let's check it out. If you want the tabs, I've got a Patreon. You can download the tabs from a Patreon. But let's check it out. Just As Long As We're Together, Prince. All right, thanks for being here. So let's have a look at what's happening in this amazing Prince track. We'll just go through each section, I guess, and there's a lot of repetition in the sections, especially before we get up to that sort of outro part. So let's just start with that intro. We've got 2 chords per bar. It's like a 2-bar loop. Let's have a look at the chord shapes, and then we'll have a look at the rhythms. So we've got a C major, C major 7, and then a B minor 7 with a sharp 5, A minor 9, and a B7 sharp 5. But we're just going to, like what we do a lot of the time, we're just going to play these inside voicings. So we have that for the C major 7, and then for the B minor 7 sharp 5. Now the A minor 7 or A minor 9, we can add that. We could just play those 3, but here we're kind of in the position where we can add that 9th on top. and then the B7 sharp 5. We'll play like that. Okay, so rhythm-wise, we're just gonna, it's pretty, he's keeping it pretty simple, but we're gonna be going 3, 4. Okay, and I guess up to tempo, 3, 4. All right, cool. Now that's the intro, and that definitely repeats 2 or 3 or 4 times maybe through the song. And now it goes into this lick, this kind of like E minor blues lick. And I'll play the notes for you, and then we'll figure out how we can play it with some hammer-on and pull-offs to get it up tempo, because it's quite quick. So we've got start on 9 to 7 on the G string. Then we move down to the D string, and we go 9, 8, 7. So we have that chromatic note in the middle, which is the flat 5 of the E minor pentatonic. Now we're going to move down with the pinky to 10th fret on the D. And there's always different positions you can play this or anything on the guitar, but this way I'm showing you here, you keep in this 7th position here with the first finger. So again. And then we come back up to the D string and we go 7, 8, 7. And then back to 10. So we've gone back 7, 10, 7, 10, and then 7, 10, 7. Okay, so altogether that is. Now it's really quick, so we can use hammer-on and pull-offs to help us get it up to tempo. So we could do pull-off on that first one, pull-off from 7 to 8. So once we go down to 10, back up, we could go and pull off there from 8 to 7. Could do that pull off there from 10 to 7. And then just pick those last two. And that kind of will help us get it up to tempo. So, and then we're going into a verse. So once we hit that last note, we're hitting, he does this a couple of times through the song. It's really cool. He's playing a semitone above the chord that he's going to. And we're going to a G major 9, this shape. So we're going to play the A flat major 9 before that. And then the next chord, the bass goes up to A, but we're going to play this, which would be like an A minor 11. And then that B7 sharp 5 chord again. And then to bring it back, we're doing E minor. We're playing that same shape here, but it's going to be more like a D on the bass, which is like a D11, to bring us back to the G major 9. Okay, now rhythm-wise, we're going to be going 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll slow that down a bit. Okay, and then we're into like a pre-chorus, and we're going E minor 7, same rhythm, and then a G11 or an F with a G on the bass. Now I think I can hear, the bass definitely does this run, and I think the guitar does it here. So that's F to G chromatically. So with that little pre-chorus, okay. All right, so, and then we've got another chromatic above to go back into that first chord section. So let me play through that whole thing real quick. 3, 4. All right, cool. And now we're going back into that first chord progression, but we're hitting the C sharp major 7 before we hit the C. Now we just play it once through, and now we're into this E minor to C7, which is like, yeah, now we're getting down section. So it's E minor 7, C9, E minor 7. Now it sounds like maybe he's playing, you know, we can play two different voicings on that C9. So this is the normal, well not normal, but the most common C or 9 chord that you would see, shape that you would see. But you can also play this. So to us, if that's the root note, it looks like E minor 7 flat 5. But if we imagine that's the third of the chord, then the C's here. And if we flatten the pinky, that gives us a C9 without the C on the bass. So we could do. Okay, cool. And then we're into that lick. Now we'll repeat that whole thing again. You know, verse, pre-chorus, chorus. We come out of the lick. But now we're hitting that B7 sharp 5 chord again. And then we're just hitting an E minor, it sort of does a E minor, just eggs on an E minor for 2 bars. And now we're into this again. But we've got this melody, this like distorted melody. Maybe the synth plays it as well, but let's learn that. So just pull it up here. So we've got this 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. Which is great. Such a cool melody. So a little bit faster. 3, 4, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. So that's happening during that intro chord progression. And now we hit this outro. And the outro is like half the song is this outro, which is so cool. And I guess we'll look at, it does continue on after what I've transcribed, but it's mainly like there's a big bass solo, a bass breakdown, and all that kind of thing. So let's look at some chord, like some chord fills that he's doing within this E minor 7 to C9 breakdown part. So we start with this lick again. Okay, so and now that brings us kind of into this funky outro section. So we're hitting that E minor 7 on the 2. So after we do the lick, sorry, 4, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. To a chromatic. So we hit that C9 and then chromatic, and that's going to go up to the E. But we're going to look at our first kind of guitar part in this outro section. So it sounds like there's a melody happening in the guitar. So it kind of makes sense for it to be played down here. If you're playing an E minor 7, you can play that as this G shape here. And if we've got this melody, we can play that within that shape. So slowly it would sound like 3, 4, 1. And then up to tempo, 3, 4, 1. All right, cool. So that's the first one. And then we have this, to break up these kind of ideas, I guess. So that's just a C, D, C, D. Now the next section before we do that C, D, C thing again, we have, he's playing the E minor chord, it sounds like, E minor 7 chord. And then we have a little single note thing happening. So we've got a few different ideas. The first part over the E minor chord seems to be the same. And he plays a few different things which would be over that C7 chord. So it would be, that's over the E minor 7 chord. Which is that classic Dorian sound. So I'm doing 6 and 7. Right, and then when we go to the C, we're going to be doing one of the licks we can go. So we're doing that 9th fret, and then between 7 and 9. And then we're doing the 8th fret on the B string. So that lick. Okay, now another one over that C7 chord would be this. So you're using that pentatonic blues. 7, 9, and then chromatic. Sorry. And now one other one I think I can hear him doing is using this part of the E minor, which is the 9. So and then one more I think I can hear him doing is this one. So all E minor pentatonic. So I'm hammer on, pull off, and end on that minor third. Okay, now we're into this again, and then one more lick, which is super cool. I think I can hear him playing this. It's hard to tell. I think at this point or through the outro, there's probably 2 guitars happening, but we can try and consolidate them into one part. So this part, I'm hearing So we're doing the E minor again. And now we're doing, and it sounds like after he's played that, it's just a pull off and a hammer on maybe to that low E string, which is on the 7th fret. And then we hit the bass note of the C7. You don't even, you could just do, and then to that bass note. You could even add this G string. That sounds cool. And that's just a C7. So that's a trickier one, but it's got that, playing those low notes in the fills is super cool. So that is about it, I think, for this tune. I really hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed hearing the Mad Cat. I certainly have had fun while I've had it, and I shall hope to see you in the next one. Have a great day. Take care.